Surprise, motherfucker.
What's up, guys? It's Malol here, and welcome to today's video. Now, on today's topic, how to not fuck up your business. That was kind of an interesting title when you think about it, but let me explain. Today, if you're running a business, you might think of yourself as a business owner. Well, I think of myself as a business owner, but the truth is we're not really business owners. If you're making money online, I don't care if it's even $1 million a month, if you do not follow these actionable steps, you're not really a business owner. Going on a laptop at 12 p.m. because you went to sleep late at last night and you're getting on your laptop in your boxer shorts still in bed, that's not a business owner, even if you're making money. A business owner is somebody that has a sustainable business, a team, and knows how to delegate and knows how to scale accordingly. Going from $0 to $100,000 in a month is not a business owner. Going from $0 to $1 million in a month is not a business owner. A business owner is somebody that knows how to run sustainably throughout a good period of time. Now, this presentation can be called a few different things. It can be called how to not fuck up your business. It can be called how to be a motherfucking business owner. And to simplify it, they just called how to be a business owner. What we're going to talk about here is some actionable tips and steps on how to actually be a business owner, how to be a CEO. Now, first of all, we have to understand one thing, is that we evolved through structures and vision, okay? Including every business that is alive that's been running for more than 3 years. Now, the reason you see these images is because we've actually all evolved through structures and vision, literally from the beginning of time. Doesn't matter if it's since the evolution of the internet or if it's since the first business was established. Back in ancient tribe times, going on to medieval times, to the military, which has an insane structure and vision, to the Rothschild family, if you know about the Rothschilds, to even Apple Corporate, and our good friend Donald Trump, the government. Everything has always been built and structured through structures, systems, and division. And we're no different. It doesn't matter if you want to make $1 billion or if you want to make $5,000 a month. You have to understand these underlying concepts. And that's what we're going to basically walk through here today. If you do not have a structure, if you do not have a vision, regardless of what type of business owner you are, you do not have a company. You might be making some money, but unfortunately, that won't be the case down the road. And I'm to blame on that as well. I've made money online for years, but every time I would go on a volatile increase and it will crash down. And always I will need to basically sustain myself and not only open new businesses, but almost like improvise so I can make it. But in the past 2 years, I've actually established a business, and that's what I actually want to go through today. So first of all, we need to understand what our BAG is. BAG stands for Big Hairy Ass Goal. It can stand for Big Hairy Audacious Goal. Now, I did not invent this concept. This has been going along from books to scriptures for dozens of years. I've actually read it in the book Scaling Up, but I think it's mentioned before that in the Rockefeller Habits. It's basically that goal that you dream of, that vision that you want to get to. Not the $5,000 a month, that vision that you have 10 years ahead, 5 years ahead. It can be to change the world. It can be to even have a financial freedom for your family. You have to have that goal that you're excited about. You have to have that goal that you wake up in the morning and you're hyped about it. Now, the secret here is almost to make that goal unrealistic. Okay, not unrealistic to a point where it's like, why would I even think of a goal if it's unrealistic? The purpose of an unrealistic goal is that even if you don't get there, when you reach for the moon, you get to the stars or whatever. But it's about having that goal and then creating a map towards it, because we cannot wake up in the morning and work on our business if we do not have that end goal. Think about it like this. When you're driving, you put the destination in the GPS, and the GPS maneuvers and it creates a field and directions for you to get to that end goal, to that end location. So business is no different, because at the end of the day, you have to have a goal, so you accumulate directions and know where to go to that goal. And a lot of us, including myself, for years, we've never really had that goal. We have like a lot of goals, but when you start making money, you start to go day by day by day, just saying, okay, what do I do today? Let's see, what tasks do I have? Some of you probably don't even have tasks. You're just like, okay, let's see what I'm feeling like today. And that's a big problem. You have to have that big, hairy ass goal so you can aim towards it and reverse engineer it, okay? So let me give you guys an example. My company, Motherfucking Marketers, MFM, we're an agency, but we're much more than that. We're an agency, we're an education company, we're a consulting company. That's my big, hairy ass goal. In general, to give you guys an idea, what I want to do with MFM is I want to create a TV show on Netflix, and I want to turn it into the biggest marketing, most prestige marketing agency and education company in the world. That's my 5-year goal. Now, will I make it? If you ask me, I'm going to tell you yes. But all in all, it doesn't matter if I make it or not. I have a road, I have a blueprint. And if I don't reach it, I'll get to the stars at least. And that's kind of what I want you guys to have. So in general, here's like a good an example of what do I mean by that. So MFM is up there in the top. Below that, you can see me. And you can see all of these arrows aiming towards me. Basically, the way that we're structured is I'm releasing content. I'm doing services for clients. You can see some clients down below. You can see some of our companies, like the Red Pill Society, Satoshi's Block, and so on. Every time I have a successful venture in these companies and clients and projects, I can use that as case studies, as testimonials, which is that trophy that you see. And those cases and testimonials are pushed towards my channels, which is YouTube, the Facebook ads group, when I'm speaking on stage, which is the image right above the trophy, my list, which is the notepad, and on Facebook. And obviously this is a very tip of the iceberg structure, but just to give you an idea. So I'm doing services for clients, I'm getting these testimonials. Right now I'm using these testimonials to push it through my different channels. Okay, now everything is aimed towards me because I'm the face of the company. So I'm basically recycling a lot of things here, right? I'm working with clients, I'm obviously making money, I'm using these case studies, I'm pushing it to other channels through my name, and that gets me more clients. So that's my big hairy ass goal, because when I push clients, I'm bringing more clients, I'm working on MFM, which eventually I head to doing that TV show, being the best marketing agency in the world. Now, when you have things set up like this, it gives me passion to work on a shitty business that I'm not passionate about. Because when I look at it from a broad spectrum of like, okay, yeah, I'm not passionate about this business that I'm working on, but if I'm successful with it, I'll be able to use a case study that I can talk on stage with. That will bring more brand awareness to Ben Malol, which will bring more brand awareness to MFM, which will bring more clients to MFM. So you understand what I mean by big, hairy ass goal? You want to have that, and you want to basically aim towards it. In a nutshell, guys, you want to have a long-term goal, and you want to reverse engineer it. Now, you don't have to stop world hunger. You don't have to change the world. Again, it can be as simple as financial freedom for your family, for your kids, and so on. To do that, there's a few fundamental concepts we need to understand. Number one, we have to look at ourselves as the dumbest in the room. Putting ego aside, we have to look at ourselves as the dumbest in the room. The best leaders have the right questions, but always turn to their employees, customers, advisors, and the crowd for the answers. On my team, we have about 5 executives, which honestly at this point, I'm not really working a lot. Most of the work that I do is to produce content and to basically push the vision of the company. I attend executive meetings, but everything is handled for me. I have a copywriter, I have a head of creative, which handles the design and video. I have a vice president, which handles all of the operations. He's the head of operations. I have a Facebook ads guy, I have a Shopify guy. I hand out everything to them because I don't want to be a jack of all trades. Number one, it's stressful, it's frustrating, and I'm not trying to be the best at everything. I want to be the best at one thing, and the best way to do that is to focus on one thing, and that's the vision. Anything else, I just push towards my team. And any questions I have, I always approach them. I'm literally the baby in this whole company, similar to this picture, because I always advise with my executives. Obviously, I have ideas, and if I want to push them, I push them, but I put more value in what my team thinks. Now, it doesn't matter if you're running a Shopify store, you can have a head of fulfillment, a head of Facebook ads, and a head of Shopify, and utilize that. But treat yourself as the CEO. Treat yourself as the business owner. Steve Jobs didn't know how to code. Steve Jobs literally attended meetings, told people what to do, or like his investors told him what needs to be done. His advertising team told him what needs to be done, and it was gone. It was done. He was probably mostly responsible on the design and branding of the company, similar to Elon Musk. Elon Musk, from what I know, is only responsible on the design and branding of SpaceX, of Tesla, and so on. Everything else he pushes. How else could somebody create a multi-billion-dollar company? Jeff Bezos, again, don't feel threatened though, because this is not for people. It doesn't mean, like I said before, that you have to go with $1 billion idea. You just have to treat your business as a business. So in a nutshell, you need to dominate. What does that mean to dominate? Number one is to reduce by 80% the time it takes you, which is the top of the team, to manage the business. You want to refocus the senior team on market-facing activities. Now, market-facing activities is basically the marketing of the company. What I'm doing now is the marketing of the company. You seeing my video, you hearing about MFM, you hearing about Malol is the marketing of the company. One out of about 1,000 of you is going to become a client of ours, guaranteed. Why do I know that? Statistics. Maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody else. 1 out of 1,000 of you is going to become a client of us. That's why I'm focusing on the market-facing activities, because only I can do that. But obviously this video is pushed to my creative team, which edits it, pushed to my ads guys, which push it. So the senior team, which can be you, it can be you and a partner, whatever your senior team is, you got to focus on market-facing activities. And you want to realign everyone else onto the same page. Basically, everybody to the same core values. You want to have very foundational core values in your company, what you guys believe in, how are you different, and that needs to go down the corporate ladder, or whatever you want to call it, from the customer service reps to the executives to the presidents. Because if one customer service rep is not aligned with your vision, down the road he's going to fuck up your entire business, okay? And I've been through that, and I know people have been through that, and that's the case. You need to be a business owner. So that basically means to understand what your scaling barriers are and how to solve them. There are usually three main scaling barriers. 1, leadership, 2, strategy and execution, and 3, marketing. Leadership is basically the inability to staff grow enough leaders throughout the organization who have the capabilities to delegate and predict. Basically, you as a leader, knowing who to hire, how to bring the staff, and how to teach them to be leaders. Because at the end of the day, you want to be so out of the business where if you guys need to hire people, you have your integrator, you have your head of operations handling that. Strategy and execution, which is in my opinion one of the most important aspects, is the lack of systems and structures, physical and organizational, to handle the complexities in communication and decisions that come with growth. If you cannot systemize specific actions and activities in your business, you do not have a business. You need to create SOPs, you need to create systems to make sure that you can delegate them. Everything that you do can be delegated, even if you think it can't. And I've had that problem as well, where I couldn't trust others. But when you systemize it, you can push it forward to other people. In our company, we have a full-on members dashboard for everybody that works on the team, which has all of the systems and all of the processes, a video recorded, SOPs, so any new hire can go in and see what the fuck they need to do. And marketing, which is basically the failure to scale up an effective marketing function capable of attracting new customers, talent, advisors, and other key relationships to the business. Now, there's a lot to say about marketing, and I can do a whole video about marketing. And if you haven't watched my previous video, how to find winning products, I recommend you check that out because that really goes through marketing. But in general, marketing is not being good with Facebook ads. Marketing is always knowing to accumulate with how the market is changing, because we know, and if you've been in business for more than a year, we know that anything that works today will probably not work a year from now. Anything that worked last year doesn't work as good as today. So it's about knowing and understanding the marketing foundation and how to move forward with it, how to delegate and how to basically foresee things that are happening in the future. That's why we have a marketing team, and I'm very involved. If one of these three things I'm the most involved in, it's the marketing. So, today we might be doing this specific advertising marketing strategy. Next month we'll be doing another one. Next year we'll be doing a completely new one because the market is changing. So these are the three main scaling barriers, and we're going to dive deep into every single one of them. Number 1 is leadership. You want to establish a handful of rules, you want to repeat yourself a lot, and you want to act consistency along those rules. That's basically the power of core values. Now, if this is used effectively, these values guide all the relationship decisions and systems in the company. Basically meaning that you as a leader, you want to establish rules, terminology, and a vision and a language for your company. Meaning as simple as what colors do we use, what logo do we use, how do we talk to our customers, from how do you talk to high-end customers or whatever your business is, to how the customer service rep treats customers. You want to make sure that everything is aligned. And when I say repeat yourself a lot, I basically mean to engrave those core values. You want to have a structure. You want to have meetings every week with your team, if not every day. You want to have monthly meetings with your team. You want to be focused on what's going on with the business. You want to be a leader. Okay, you don't want to be there running the ads. You want to be a leader. Now, if this is used effectively, these values and these rules will go throughout the entire business. Okay, so let me give you an example for what we do. Every day, me and my vice president, we have a meeting in the morning. Every week, all of our executives are on a phone meeting, and every quarter, every 3 months, we all get together in a house that sometimes we rent, sometimes in Hawaii, sometimes in a state, whatever. We bring everybody every 3 months, which is every quarter, to talk about businesses, our business solutions, market-facing activities, and so on. That's how you become a leader. That's how you become a business owner. A good topic, a good example of this, and what every single person should integrate into their business, is something called the visionary and integrator concept. Again, I did not invent this. This is actually from a book called Rocket Fuel. And again, they didn't even invent this. This goes from the beginning of time. Visionary and integrator are the two main roles you need to have in your business. An effective business must have a visionary role and an integrator role. I'm going to go over that in a second. Basically what that is in a nutshell, it's almost like, look at Apple, right? So you got Steve Jobs and you got Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak is, his partner, the co-founder of Apple. Steve Jobs did not know how to code. He did not know how to do any development or any coding, which is actually pretty surprising because Apple is completely built on code and development and the UI and everything code related. It's a computer company. Steve Wozniak, on the other hand, was a coder. He was the one in the back end creating everything. So the visionary is that CEO mindset. Usually it comes with heavy ADHD, guilty as charged, and it comes with a talent to be charismatic and to basically push the company forward. Again, a visionary and an integrator will be different in every company, but treat it as like a president and a vice president, a CEO and a COO. In our company, I'm the CEO, and which I'm the visionary, obviously, and my head of operations, which is the vice president, is the integrator. So anything that I want, I push to my integrator, to my head of operations, and he pushes it to the team, to all of the other executives, or the team, or whatever. I'm basically doing these content videos, let's say to bring clients, right? So a client walks through the door, and he goes through my integrator. The integrator handles the client and pushes it to the team to provide the service. So basically, to dive even deeper into that, visionaries drive creative thought and innovation. Visionaries are the dreamers in the organization. A visionary is that person who is always coming up with a list of ideas every week for the business and who is a natural creative problem solver. Visionaries tend to operate more on emotion than on logic and strongly value the company culture. Visionaries offer integrators a creative insight to the business, while integrators provide the logical and structured approach that is also needed. This is an amazing example because there's two types of people: emotional and logical. My integrator, my vice president, is almost like my dad. He's the guy that sits me down and tells me like, okay, listen, Ben, I don't think it's a good idea to buy that Lamborghini because of our financial, because of the profit loss of this month. Shit like that. I'm the guy that comes up with 20 new ideas every week, just smashing them out, and my integrator tells me like, okay, listen, Ben, I like your 20 ideas, but honestly 19 of them are fucking shit. But this one right here, I think that can work. And then he pushes that. So it's basically that mom and dad of the company. And most of us play a visionary and integrator role, and that's why we're basically doomed for failure. You can't be both. Now, you might are both now, and I've been both for years until I found a partner, but you want to find yourself a partner. Now, if you already have a partner in your business, you want to assign these two roles. I recommend you read the book Rocket Fuel, because that is an amazing example. Rocket Fuel, because that's an amazing example and basically structures and teaches you how to do that. Now, if you are a visionary and an integrator role, you want to make sure to find that other side ASAP. There's a very small amount of people that can be both roles, maybe 1 out of 10, if not 1 out of 20, but I'm already telling you that it's a very, very stressful role because you're handling everything. You're handling the creative aspect and you're handling the operational aspect, which is a nightmare because they both collide with each other. If you want to be creative, you got to be creative. You got to think, how do we push this forward? You cannot be handling the nitty-gritty shit. You have to have an integrator for that. Now, that doesn't mean that the integrator is a 10% partner and the visionary is a 90% partner. It can be 50-50, it can be 75-25, it can be 60-40. You're partners at the end of the day. And you got to decide what you think is the most beneficial. If you are an integrator, you might need a visionary role. Again, no, it's not like one of them is over the other one. Usually, the CEO, the founder, is usually the visionary, and then the person that he brings on, the co-founder or head of operation, is the integrator. So I trust you guys to figure that out for yourselves, but you have to have these roles. An integrator basically maintains the business harmony. So in order to maintain harmony among the major functions of the business, every company needs an integrator. The integrator can have many other titles, but no matter what you call it, the right integrator for any organization is the person who has the unique ability to manage daily issues as they come up and the ability to integrate all three major functions of the business: sales and marketing, operations and finance, into one harmonious group. Put simply, the integrator acts as the glue that keeps the team together. The integrator is the guy that makes sure that you don't fuck up and that the business is working. The visionary is the one that's focusing on pushing the business forward. A good saying with this, and this is actually a funny saying, is that if you're a visionary, consider yourself free. If you're an integrator, consider yourself stressed. Now, that doesn't mean that integrators are always stressed, but integrators have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. A visionary has as well. But you have to understand that my mindset, and some of you are probably like me, some of you maybe are not like me, but I have heavy ADHD. I cannot sit in front of a computer for more than 3 hours without, popping pills. But an integrator can, because again, I want to work on my strengths, not on my weaknesses. I've always always thought that I'm not smart or that I lack focus because I cannot focus for more than a few hours, which is probably true, but why should I fight it? Why should you fight it? Find yourself somebody that can handle all the nitty-gritty annoying tasks in the business. I don't like to call it annoying, but basically to keep the business functional, okay? That's how you work as a team. That's how you assign these two roles and make sure the company is moving forward. Now, this is an example of our corporate structure. It's much bigger than that, but for you to understand, I kind of needed to zoom in. On the top, you can see two, and you don't have to zoom in or read it. I think I need to blur it out anyway, just because obviously I do not want to showcase our whole team and so on. But the two red boxes on the top are the visionary and integrator. I'm on the top. Below me is our vice president, Alex Urban. He's the integrator of the company. And below Alex Urban, below my vice president, my integrator, you have all of the executive team, which is basically the yellow and the orange. And under that, we have our team members. So how does it work? I'm focusing on research and development. I'm focusing on market-facing activities. I'm focused on ideas and so on. I push it to my integrator. My integrator takes it, pushes it to the team. The only thing I do is I attend, obviously, me and my vice president, we have meetings every day, and I attend the weekly meetings and obviously the quarterly meetings. But my connection to the team and to executives is very, very minimal. Now you can translate it to any business. If you're doing e-commerce, your integrator can be the one that's making sure products are uploaded to the store. The integrator can make sure that ads are running. You make sure, as a visionary, that the company is moving forward and you always come up with new ideas. Again, take this and it's not set by stone. There's a million ways to do this. Every business has a different visionary and integrator, but understand this foundational structure. Now, on top of that, as a leader, talking about our leadership topic, you want to stop looking for skills and you want to start looking for people. Basically, that means that when I look for partners and when I look for executives, I don't look for, oh, how good you are or how much do you charge or show me your results. That's me personally. What I look for is the person. I look for their spirit more than their talent, because the truth is, skills and talents, you can always teach. I can always teach somebody to be really good with Facebook ads if you give me a few months with them. But taking somebody from an asshole to not an asshole, that's going to take me probably 30 years if that's even possible. I'd rather find people that are good in their heart and believe in the cause and the vision I'm trying to create and coach them. Some of them will already be experienced, some of them will be less experienced, but I'm looking for partners. My executive team have been friends with me for years, and obviously, I have a lot of friends, but there are specific people that I always look out to, that I see them as, okay, this guy might actually can actually contribute to our business. And again, this is not a manipulative thing. This is a win-win situation. So understand that you cannot run a business alone. You are your team. You want to start looking for partners, not employees. Partners don't make $15 an hour. Now, obviously, we all have employees and we have VAs that we pay $15 an hour. We have VAs that we pay $5 an hour. But our executive team are partners. Every single executive, believe it or not, has equity and percentage in our business. And that's what you want to have as well, to a certain extent. If it's an integrator role or if it's a head of advertising, you want to find partners. And you don't want to pay them a salary. You want to bring somebody that has an intent to grow the business with you. A great way to do this is to basically screen through friendship. It might sound a bit manipulative, but my way to know how good a person is not to look for somebody on a job board, is to basically be friends with them for a good amount of time so I know who they really are, and then I can bring them into the business. Because at the end of the day, when you try to hire someone, when you go to a job board, you're not really meeting the person. You're meeting their persona that they're trying to show you on how good they are in their job. But after you talk to them 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, it fades out and you learn who they are. You can get drunk with them on weekends. You can smoke weed with them. It doesn't matter. You have to learn who your partners are. And sometimes it's better to find somebody that's early in their stages and that you believe in as a person and teach them how to do what's needed than to find somebody that is expensive and is already skilled, because the difference between both of them is that the person you teach and you take through the process and you slowly integrate into the company, he'll be family. Somebody that you hire that charges $100,000 a year or whatever will probably leave you if they get offered a better deal. So that's how I treat my executives, and that's how I treat my partners. Again, that's just me. You don't have to do the same, but just giving you like a snippet of basically how we do things. Now, the best way to do this, to actually find these people, is that you want to utilize the era's current social infrastructure, like Facebook, groups, messaging, etc., conferences, masterminds. You want to stay active and you want to stay in contact. What do I mean by that is that, guys, we're living in an amazing, amazing, amazing time. We're living in a time where we can talk to anybody we want on Facebook. We can be in Facebook groups. We can communicate with anybody around the world through Facebook. Go to conferences, go to masterminds, because that's where you're gonna find people that are like you. People that paid $1,000 to attend an event are probably serious about their future. Somebody that paid $5,000 for a mastermind probably has shit going for him. That's where you want to find these partners, if it's an integrator or if it's executives. Every single person, executive role on our team, I did not meet from a job board. I did not hire from a job board. It was always through events, it was always through conferences, it was always through social circles. And I have a very big brand online. You don't need to have a big personal brand, but I have the power of basically reaching out to anybody that I want, and they'll probably be more than happy to work for me, even for free. You don't need to do that, but you do want to have a sustainable, good Facebook social media profile. As sad as it is, and I know a lot of us are against Facebook, or like we don't want to be online for so long, you know, if you can't beat them, join them, because the thing is that that's just the world we live in. And if we do not understand that, we're going to be left behind. That's why I make sure to keep my feed looking good, my images looking good, because that's the first impressions people have of me. Now again, don't compare me to yourself if you don't have a lot of followers, because I'm not saying that you need 20,000 followers, but at least have a good Facebook profile. At least have a good professional image, a good cover. So somebody goes to your Facebook profile and sees that, okay, this guy seems serious, he cares, and he looks like things are going for him. Because as sad as it is, you can be a billionaire, and if you have a shitty Facebook profile without any cover and like anything on your newsfeed and like let's say 300 friends, and let's say you contact me, even if you're a billionaire, I'll probably like, you know, push you off. Not because I don't want to work with you, but because I don't know any of that. You know what I mean? I only see his Facebook profile, unfortunately. And it's a sad reality, but it's the reality that we live in. So make sure that your social pages are on point, because that's the first impression everybody is going to have of you. Next on the table, before we move on, I want to talk about staying active and staying in contact. Basically, meaning staying active is that stay active, post once a week, do shit, comment on people's posts just so your name is mentioned, just so you're active in communities and that people have a reference of who you are. And stay in contact, meaning that if you've met somebody, stay in contact with them, send them a message once a week, send them a message once a month. It doesn't matter, it's easy. Hey, what's up, how's it going? That's all you need, because when you stay in contact with people, you're always in their subconscious. And if they ever need anything, or you know they're looking for a partnership, they'll remember you. And same thing vice versa. When you have a social circle, if you need anything, if it's design, or you need somebody for a specific role, or just in general, a friend, then you'll always have the social circle to fall back on. Now, strategy and execution. This is actually an interesting one. Guys, if you do not have a real strategy, basically it doesn't pass two tests, which is firstly, what you're planning to do really matters to enough customer, and secondly, it differentiates you from your competitors. You don't have a real business, because you need to be able to differentiate yourself regardless of what business you are in, and you have to make sure that you're differentiating, that you matter for customers and you differentiate your competitors. And you want to make sure that you create these strategies and systems. You want to implement 3 key habits, which is first of all, set up a handful of priorities. The fewer you have, the better. And you want to establish an effective daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual meeting rhythm to keep everyone in the loop. Again, that can mean daily, that can mean weekly, whatever you think is necessary. Because you always want to have a point where everybody is in line and aware of what is going on with the business. I send out a weekly update video every week to my whole team, basically getting them up to date on like what's going on, what the fuck are they working for. Because you know, the second you move away from like, oh, these are just employees, to like, these are family, these are partners, and everybody needs to understand what they're working for, you become such a more genuine, visionary business owner, rather than just like somebody that is doing his job. You want to make sure that you have your strategies on point. Because first of all, today's office is digital, guys. You can have everything from Google Drive for your files, to Skype for meetings, to Klaviyo for email marketing, Evernote for notes, Photoshop for design, whatever. Today's office is digital. You can utilize all of these tools to create an amazing work environment. So you want to basically have a speedy system. What is a speedy system? If you guys don't know, it's basically taken from the McDonald's, how McDonald's do their work and how McDonald's basically became McDonald's. They were able to become McDonald's because they were the first ones to implement the strategy of getting a burger from somebody ordering a burger to having a burger ready in 60 seconds, because their system was so on point. Somebody would order, and here's like a screenshot of how like the McDonald's flow is from above. Somebody gets the order, it's pushed to, let's say, the bun guy. The bun guy gets the buns, he moves it to the tomato guy. The tomato guy puts the tomatoes, moves it over to the cheese guy, puts the cheese and then the burger, and then tomatoes or whatever, and then eventually it comes out to the register. Everything is very, very, very much in line, and our business is no different. If I want to get a product up and running, then let's say there's a trend going on with Donald Trump, for example. So I want to create some shirts for Donald Trump. Okay, I'm gonna come up with a few ideas because, again, I'm the marketing role. So I'll come up with a few, let's say, quotes on Donald Trump and like an idea for like what I want to create. So I want to create these 10 shirts with these 10 sentences with these 10 images, right? And it's just like an overall idea. I push it to my integrator. My integrator pushes it to the design team. They come up with a few designs. I go over it and I say like, okay, I like this one, I don't like this one, maybe you should change this one. It's pushed back to the integrator, back to the design. Eventually I finalize 10 designs. It pushes towards our Shopify guy, which takes the designs, puts it on a mock-up and pushes it to the store. And then it moves over to the copywriter, and the copywriter writes the copy for the product, which eventually moves over to the Facebook ads guy, which pushes the ads. What did I do here? I just thought about the ideas, and I don't even need to think about that, but that's still something that I like to be involved in and that I feel that I can contribute the most in. That's how you want to treat your business. That's a system. As simple as it is, it's basically Skype is meetings, Google Drive is your storage, you can share it with everybody on the team, Asana is where you manage your tasks, and Shopify is the storefront. You want to have that system, and again, it can be 5 people, it can be 3 people, it doesn't matter. All of our systems, by the way, are written in a document in the Google Drive. So if we forget how the system works, we have a PDF for that. We know that Ben comes up with 10 new design ideas every month. He writes it over in Asana, tags the integrator. The integrator pushes it over to the design, and they move it over to the copywriter. Shopify integrator pushes it to the store, ads running, so on. That means that the second I release the ideas, we can have ads up and running for these final products in as low as 3 days, sometimes in 24 hours, if we really want to make it happen. This way, I'm spending time on coming up with ideas and everything is handled. Obviously, I made sure to finalize everything, and slowly I'm moving away even from that because at the end of the day, I still need to put my hands, and it's all a learning process. But that's how we function in the business. You want to create video tutorials and PDFs for all of the systematic roles, which is basically anything that you do, from fulfillment to coming up with ideas to even searching through AliExpress if you're doing Shopify. You want to video record yourself that and teach that. To who? To your team. Because you should have a folder in your Google Drive of all of the systems and processes of your business. You want to push it to there because then anybody can look over that and learn how to do that themselves. And better than that, it's great for reference and it's great for hiring. Meaning that if eventually you want to bring somebody to find products for you on AliExpress, they can go to that video and learn how to do that. So that you took that off your plate. So always make tutorials and PDFs for all of the systematic roles and have a folder where everybody can access it because that's how you create a system, that's how you create a team. And last but not least, marketing. People do not buy products, guys, they buy the story that they play in their mind. Meaning that when somebody goes and buys a Ray-Ban glasses, they don't think about the plastic or the lens or like how how much UV radiation it prevents. Unfortunately, we do need to think about that, but we don't. We have that vision of how we'll look with those glasses. I can have a vision of like having these glasses and I have 5 girls around me because that's what Ray-Ban are trying to show. I'm trying to be this cool guy. I'm buying into the vision of how I think I'll look when I wear these glasses. And that's basically marketing in a nutshell. Now, I can do a full-on video on marketing, but I recommend you guys to check out my previous video called How to Find Winning Products because I have a full-on 40-minute video specifically about this. So I'm just gonna end that here. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Now as a bonus for sticking around, I wanna give you a free PDF that contains all of the slides that we just went through. So you can reference them in the future if you wanna remind yourself of the video, or if you just want a cheat sheet that you can refer to at any time. So click the link below and download the free PDF, and I'll see you in the next video.
Surprise, motherfucker.